When I walked away from my corporate job last year, retired, even though I knew it couldn't be forever, I thought that I was stepping into this big, wide open stretch of time. Slow mornings, long walks, writing and traveling, all the things that I used to daydream about when I was glued to a laptop for hours every day. And honestly, I was right. For 8 months, my life finally felt like it belonged to me again. I could wake up and follow my energy instead of a schedule. If I wanted to write, I wrote. If I wanted to sit on the porch and drink my coffee in silence, I did that. If I wanted to get in the car and drive across the country, I did that too. I took that 5-week road trip. I'll put the playlist right up here because I told myself, I'm going to do this now because I don't know if or when I'll ever get another chance. And I'm so glad that I trusted that instinct. That trip changed me, and those 8 months changed me. But now that I'm back at work, at a job that I truly do enjoy, my life looks a lot different. I still have some flexibility, but the to-do list has crept back into the center of things. There are tasks that have to be done on my days off. I try to rest, but I can feel myself slipping back into the productivity trap. Not like before, nowhere near the corporate level, but enough that I notice it. And I miss that feeling that I had during my mini retirement, where the days stretched ahead of me and I knew that I'd have enough time to do everything without having to schedule it. I miss waking up and feeling like the whole day was open, like time wasn't something that I had to fight with. I really miss that feeling, but I find peace in knowing that I can do it again every summer if I want to. Because now that I'm teaching, I'll have summers off. I'll have 3 months of what I think of as my mini retirement every year, a whole season where life opens up again, where I can write and travel and rest and cook and breathe. So the way that I see my life now is simple. For the next few years, I'll work 3/4 of the year and then I'll have a mini retirement every summer. And honestly, that feels like the best case scenario for me because I truly am not financially ready to fully retire. A year ago, I couldn't imagine any of this. I had given my retirement notice with not much of a plan, no guarantees, no idea how I was going to afford the life that I wanted. I only knew that I had to get out. And because I took that leap, those 8 months ended up teaching me more about work and health, money, stress, and myself than the previous decade combined. Here are some things that I learned. Number one, my life fills itself without a job. I don't need to work to feel purposeful. People love to say, oh, I'd be so bored if I retired. Let me go ahead and tell you, no, you wouldn't. When I stopped giving all of my energy to an employer, my days filled themselves naturally and beautifully. I cooked and I wrote and I traveled. I took care of my home. I walked every day. I rested. I connected with the people that I really care about. I didn't have to go looking for purpose. It was already there. I had just been too tired to see it. Number two, I learned what stress actually feels like by finally living without it. This one really hit me the hardest. It took a couple of months for my nervous system to settle down after I quit. I didn't know how tense I had been for decades until I felt what it felt like to not be tense. My sleep improved, my joints got better, my brain fog lifted, my mood lifted. I really felt 10 years younger. And I didn't do anything extreme. I simply let go of the constant pressure and focused more on what was good for my body and my mind. And I had the time and the energy to focus on that. Now that I'm working again, and I do enjoy my job, but I feel the stress the second it lands. I'm so much more in tune with my body now. I know that when my chest tightens, I have to be careful to not take on too much. When my stomach churns and reflux hits in the middle of the night, I know that my nutrition is slipping. When I can't fall asleep because my mind is running a million miles an hour, I know that I have to let something go. Deadlines, schedules, and expectations all live in your body, whether you love the work that you're doing or not. You don't know how heavy something is until you set it down. Number 3, work doesn't just take your time for the hours you work. It takes up the margins of your life. Even with flexibility, even with several days off or a whole week's vacation, even with a job that feels aligned and that you enjoy, work still lives in the back of your mind. You're always planning ahead. You're always making mental lists. You're anticipating the next thing. You are mentally managing your schedule. I can see that in my creative life. My YouTube posting schedule is harder to maintain. I've been off all week for Thanksgiving, and I'm trying to squeeze in this video before my work week starts back because I didn't find the energy to do it before now like I had planned. My writing routine takes more effort because my mind is elsewhere. I do have the time to do those things, but my focus is tied up in work. Those 8 months showed me how much mental space work takes up. Number 4, my health thrives when work stress disappears. When I was retired, my health improved dramatically. I had time to walk every day and time to cook real meals instead of reaching for shortcuts. I had time to rest and sleep and not feel guilty about it. My energy came back. My inflammation dropped. My blood sugar leveled out. I felt younger and looked younger. My labs improved, and now I am off all of my prescription medications. Y'all, I tried for years to do that while I was still working. Now that I'm working again, I'm just struggling to maintain the level of health I'm at instead of improving it. I'm counting down to summer because I know that my body is going to feel better the second the weight lifts. You cannot out-supplement, out-exercise, or out-willpower chronic stress. Your body knows the truth. Number 5, I love being at home. Once home wasn't my workplace anymore. When I was working remotely for that corporate monster of a healthcare insurance company, for over 10 years, my house felt like a cage. Every minute that I wasn't working, I wanted to escape. And eventually, I understood why. I wasn't trying to escape my home. I was trying to escape my work environment. It just happened to be under the same roof. Sometimes I managed to take my laptop and work while I secretly traveled, but it felt like I was taking a ball and chain with me, and so it never really felt like it was worth the effort. Once that job was gone, my home became peaceful again. It became comfortable and soothing and somewhere that I wanted to be. I didn't realize how much I loved being home until home wasn't where I absorbed stress every day. Number 6, I can live on less money than I ever imagined. This might be the most surprising lesson. If you had told me a few years ago that I could cut my expenses almost in half and still live well, I wouldn't have believed you. But I did it. Yes, a cascade of unexpected expenses forced me back to work sooner than I had planned, but even with that, I learned something important. I don't need as much money as I thought. I don't need the big corporate salary. I don't need the lifestyle inflation that came with it. I can live simply and be perfectly fine. Number 7, the right work, even with less money, gives me something that money can't. Now I'm teaching, and let me tell you, the income is nowhere near what I made in the corporate healthcare world, not even close. But the work is rewarding. My schedule is more flexible and gentler on my system, and my stress is lower. and my summers are mine. Less money did not equal less life. If anything, it gave me more of my life back. And yes, while I'd rather not work, who wouldn't? I'm doing work that makes me feel like I'm contributing something valuable to the world. My students are actually benefiting from what I'm doing. And number 8, I learned that I'm a creator at heart. And time away gave me the clarity to see that. I think everyone needs a form of work, not necessarily a job, but their life's work, the thing that they were meant to do. And during those 8 months off, I finally saw mine clearly. I'm a creator. I'm a writer. That's who I am underneath every job title that I've ever had. Not just YouTube, not just Substack, but sharing my life experiences in a way that helps other people see themselves more honestly. Turning the things that I've lived through into something useful. I got a strong start on my book during that time off. And those writing days reminded me exactly who I am. That's what time away from work will give you. Clarity. A chance to meet yourself again without the noise of a job telling you who to be. And now that I'll have summers off every year, that's where I plan to return to that work. The work that feels like mine. I'm planning on writing every summer, working on my book. So those 8 months changed me. They showed me what peace feels like and what real health feels like, what clarity feels like, what I look like when I'm living my life, not just surviving it. Now that I'm working again, I don't romanticize work anymore. I can see exactly what it gives and exactly what it takes. And I can plan my whole life around that instead of pretending that I'm invincible. This setup, working 3/4 of the year and taking a mini retirement every summer, feels right to me. It feels right for me. A year ago, I had no idea what my life would look like. I just knew that I couldn't stay where I was. And now here I am, finding my way, slowly but surely. This is what your 50s are for, figuring out what works, letting go of what doesn't, and putting together a second half that actually feels like it belongs to you. Thanks for listening, friends, and I'll see you in the next video.